So this is something I actually think about a lot here. As you guys know, being that I'm a fragrance reviewer, I have a lot of different fragrances, right? That probably is no shock to you. And you can see just a small fraction of them behind me here. And as you can imagine, when I come down here and tries to choose my scent of the day, it can be quite a challenge. And I can spend a lot of time trying to decide on what I want to wear for the day, which is kind of ridiculous, and it's a big waste of time sometimes. If I don't come in here with a game plan, I could spend a lot of time down here picking and choosing and going back and forth. You know, you really have to be efficient when you have this many fragrances. Got to go into it with a game plan. And sometimes I think, you know, man, if I were able to just start over from scratch and only pick up, you know, a solid baseline of fragrances that I already know I love, it would make it so much easier. And that's what we have here today. 12 fragrances I would pick up if I was starting over and I wanted to build a super solid foundation of scents that I know work great for me. And I know that if I were to start over and do this thing over, I would head straight to discounters, which I will link these all down below, find the best deals on them and pick all of these up right away. And I know that I would get my money's worth out of them instantly because all of these are fragrances that I've worn several times and I've got my money's worth out of them, and the simple fact that I love how they smell and I wear them often in each one of their respective seasons. So if you're looking to kind of build up a nice base of fragrances and you kind of want to look at some stuff that I've really gotten a lot of use out of, then make sure you stay tuned for this one. Like I mentioned, I'll link these down below so you can get a good deal on them. Also, make sure you're checking out my community tab. I'm posting deals over there several times a day, so get subscribed, bookmark that page. Actually, just recently, DETOUR Homme Parfum and Mancera Intense Cedrat Boisé Parfum both came into stock at the exact same time. I posted about them. They sold out within an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. I know a lot of you guys out there were able to pick those up and you know, finally get your hands on those because the DETOUR has been super hard to get, and the Mancera has been a little bit more challenging to get at an actual discount. So it's very valuable. Get subscribed, check that page multiple times a day, save yourself some money. Let's get into it. So we're going to start this one off with AZZARO Wanted by Night. It's got cinnamon, tobacco, and fruity notes going on in here, along with some nice woods as well. You know, this one has definitely shown its face in the community multiple times, so I don't really need to spend too much time on it. When it comes down to it, one of the main reasons why this one is so successful is the price point, one, the performance, and the mass appeal, right? Those three things. It's $40 to $45 on discounters, which is a really, really, really competitive and attractive price point. It's got great performance. It's a fragrance you don't have to worry about performance with because it will last you through the entire day, even in wintertime. And it also pulls compliments. If you can get that kind of trio going there on a scent and check off all those boxes, you're almost guaranteed to have something that's just going to generate a lot of attention. And that's what this one does. Like I mentioned here in the beginning of the video, this is a fragrance that I would pick up in a heartbeat if I was starting over. Pick it up for that discounted price, and I'd immediately start wearing it if it was in fall and winter time, and I would just be so happy to have it. It's a scent that's already paid for itself for me. I'm happy to have it around, and I always will. Something a little bit newer, and it's still surprising me how much I like this one, from Gucci. It's Gucci Guilty Pour Homme Parfum. It's got juniper, lemon, nutmeg, orange blossom. So a good amount of freshness and citruses, even though the bottle may not allude to that. You know, you may think of something richer, but that's not really the case. It's not, you know, something that has a bunch of leather and woods and amber or something like that, right? Still very fresh, but it's a fresh scent with a nice little bit of this depth and this kind of citrusy sweet punch, which is very interesting. You know, it's one thing I've talked about here a lot on the channel, where initially I was like, oh yeah, it smells pleasant off my first impressions. But then as I continued to test it and wear it on my skin, I was picking up on different nuances that I didn't notice at first. And that's the beauty of this hobby and exploring things. So if you want to try this one out, I would encourage you to check it out. It's something that to me has been worth my while, and I've been super impressed with it. Now, the retail price for this one is obnoxious. It is a parfum, and the prices on these are going up. If you use the link down below, you can get it for like $109 for the 3-ounce bottle size, which is a lot better than like the $140 or $150 retail price that this one has. So you can get it for a decent discount already. It's also worth noting that most Gucci fragrances are going to be around in that price range in general on discounters, $90, $95, $100. So it's kind of on par. We're going to switch gears completely and go to something that's sweet and spicy and cheap. And this one is HARAMAIN's DETOUR Noir. This is a latent clone, easiest way to put it. And it is so, so well done. I've talked about this a lot because it's exceeded my expectations so, so much. And each time I smell it, it still never ceases to amaze me just how close this one gets to latent. And it's $29 or $30 on discounters. At that price point, it is a scent that I recommend to everybody. Like, even if you don't know if you like the smell of latent, at this price point of $30, it is so worth a gamble because you may discover one of your favorite signature scent DNAs ever, or maybe you don't like it, but at least you're only out $30 instead of $220 plus, and you could just give it away. Even though I have latent, I still wear DETOUR Noir, and I spray it around the house all the time just because it lasts in the air when you spray it. It smells great, and it just kind of is this cozy, warm scent that smells great for fall and winter time. This stuff here is seriously impressive. Got an OG up next. This one is Dolce & Gabbana, the one Eau de Parfum. As you can tell, this bottle has seen better days. This is my original bottle. It's a 2015 batch. The batch code, it's going to be hard to read, but I should be able to make it out, is 5121. 5191. It starts with a 5. It's a 2015 launch year of this one. And as you can see, there is hardly anything left. Don't worry. You know me, I've got backups, multiple of them. But yeah, this just kind of shows right here that I happen to enjoy this scent a little bit. This one is all about the amber and tobacco, and I love it. This is one that I wear to bed a lot, like in the evenings, like right about now. I'm going to probably go to bed soon after shooting this, and it's one that I would just pick up and spray on, and it'll be gone by the morning, so it's not like I have to worry about that, you know, overspraying something like that. It's not gonna, you know, be obnoxious when I'm trying to go to sleep. It's just soft and warm and inviting, and I just love everything about it. One of the best date night fragrances for men ever created, and I think it still holds that title. We're going to go with another one that you can get for a pretty good price currently. It's Mugler's Ultimate. Now this one here is pretty interesting in that it has some notes of balsam fir, cedarwood, but then a good amount of cappuccino, so a nice coffee accord in here. And it's really, really nice. Really pleasant stuff. The atomizers suck because it has that rubber on the top. You can cut that out if you want. I just kind of live with it. But it just is really nice. You know, it's a great one for fall and early winter time. Just when the temperatures are a little bit more mild, nothing too crazy. If it starts to get super, super cold outside, I'm reaching for heavier coffee fragrances and just other, you know, heavier fragrances in general. But kind of for the mid-range, starting to cool off temperatures like fall and that sort of thing and all of that, that's when I reach for this one. And for the price, $56, $60, somewhere around in there, it's a really nice pickup, and it's one of the few Mugler Angelman fragrances that you can still get for a price that is not absurd. I'm going to try to pick up the speed because I feel like I'm moving a bit slow. It's Bentley for Men Intense. Now, you guys know it. It's got rum, leather, incense, some spices going on in here, woods, if I didn't say it already, cedar wood. And it is simply a gentleman's masculine and mature scent with a heavy dose of booze. I love how it smells. Even as a younger guy, I think this stuff is incredible, especially for the $25 that it costs you on discounters, which is just crazy. The quality, the performance, all of that for $25 is something to be impressed about. Even if you don't like how it smells, I think we can all agree and mostly be on the same page that this is a lot of bang for your buck. And again, just as a disclaimer, not for everybody. You know, it's going to be hard to get samples because it's so cheap already, but just go into it knowing that there's a good chance you just might not like it, because I know a lot of people don't. For me, though, this is nice. I just wore this one the other day and I loved every second of it. It's Y Le Parfum. You know, it's got the apple, sage, amberwood, lavender, all of that stuff. Geranium, kind of green mintiness in here. You know, it's that mixture of fresh and sweet with some of that blue fragrance DNA that just works like magic. What I like about the Parfum is it gets a little bit more aromatic and rich on my skin compared to the Eau de Parfum. In the air and maybe on paper, it can be a little bit harder to tell the difference between the two, but you know, the more and more I wear this and then I wear something like the EDP, the differences start to really show themselves more. So I encourage you, if you're testing this one, to continue to do so, and you'll start to see those differences. And this is kind of pulled into almost first place for me. Like, I like this over the EDP just because of that added richness. I gotta have this one in my collection. Another OG of mine that I would pick up immediately if I had to wipe everything out and start over, and it's one that I would wear so often and pay for itself within the first few months probably. It's Acqua di Gio Profumo, Sea Notes, Incense, Patchouli. I still wear this one often. Also one that I wore more recently than not, along with the EDP, Acqua di Gio EDP. I've been wearing that a lot. But I love Profumo, man. It's one of those signature scent type of deals where even if it was fall or winter time and I had a bottle of this one in my limited collection of 12, hypothetically, if I was starting over, then I would be wearing it on days where, you know, maybe I didn't want something super sweet, just kind of wanted something more fresh and great for running errands or something. It's just a nice signature scent that I'll always have. This is actually the only niche fragrance in this video, and it's Creed AVENTUS. You know, I just wore this one literally a couple nights ago. I mean, it's all coming full circle. This is the stuff that I wear still to this day out of everything I have to choose from. And for me, it's just a scent that I just get so much enjoyment out of. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what it's all about. It's about finding what you enjoy. AVENTUS to a lot of people is overhyped, and it's not worth the price, and it sucks and all that stuff, and that's fine. You know, for me though, it's a scent that still brings me a bunch of joy and happiness every time I wear it, even when I smell it. You know, I'm just like, man, that is nice. It just is everything that I kind of look for in a scent. And so for me, if I was starting over, this would be a no-brainer. Batches aside, really at this point I have different ones, but dating back to 2016 or so. And this one here I believe is a 2019. I've got a 2020 or 2021. Oh, this is a 19. I bought a new bottle more recently than not just to see, and for me it still does the same thing. So next up we got Armani Code Absolu. It's got leather, suede, vanilla. Actually no leather, but it does have suede, it does have vanilla, it's got tonka bean, it's got orange, leather. I was thinking of the Profumo version of this, but it does have suede like I mentioned. So it's very silky and smooth and very sweet. You know, it's going to be more of that new style of men's fragrance going in that direction, utilizing the tonka bean to a heavy extent here. And it's just a really well-rounded flanker, you know, and that was something I noticed and picked up on the very first time I smelled it. For winter time, this is one that is in heavy rotation for me. Second to last, we have Versace Pour Homme. It's got neroli, citrus, musk, all of that stuff, right? You guys know how this one is. It is another fantastic signature scent. Like, it doesn't get much better than this if you want a cologne that you can wear for anything. Literally anything. Now, it's going to be more suited for spring and summer, warmer weather. It is a citrus-based scent, but you can wear it in fall. You can wear it in wintertime. Performance won't be as good, but that's not the point. The point is you will never smell out of place wearing Versace Pour Homme, and that's not something you can say about everything. We're going to end this off with another summer superstar for a low price. It's AZZARO Chrome United. Or I'm sorry, Extreme. I have no idea where that came from. AZZARO Chrome Extreme. This one has sea notes, orange, musk. Very similar to Acqua di Gio Profondo at a fraction of the cost. This one, $44, $45, 100 ml on discounters. It is an eau de parfum, and Profondo, you know, depending on the bottle size, 80, 90, 100, 110, whatever. So you're talking about a big difference in price. And Chrome Extreme does a really good job of representing that one with its own little twist, less of the mineral notes going on. Might even make it a little bit more mass-pleasing overall, but for the price point, I love having this around. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. 12 fragrances I would buy first if I were going to start over. You know, if I wanted to make it easy on myself and eliminate everything and get down to a small group of fragrances that I'm going to wear often, these are the ones I would make it in. Links to these will be down below so you can get a good price on them. And again, check out my community tab, posting deals over there all the time. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.